What up, everybody? It's your boy Greenland. I'm back with another video, but this time we got WWE 2K24. I'm so excited because this is my very first car of this year, and I'm recreating it from scratch, so y'all get to see how I, cook up in a lab. So, if you want to see how I change this to this, continue with the video, and let's get into it. Let's go. First up, what I like to do, I like to start straight from default. I use the most generic face template. I mean, it's nothing wrong with using, the other options, but this is how I do it with usually most of my cards. So what you want to do is make sure everything is lined up correctly. You can see 2K still never fixed the proper lineup when it comes to face texture. So to get it most accurate when it comes to that, still follow the steps on the left. So when you see where the line up on the left, follow those steps, like still line it up with that face texture. And then just, on the right, just correct it, line it up with the lips, line it up with the eyes, and it's still gonna be the same way. With the skin tone, I used the most accurate one to the texture. With this one, it was like a more lighter skin. And when it comes to actually making a car, structure to the face is important. You want him to stand out. You don't want to make him look too generic, No one wants a default character, man. I'm telling you. So details are important. I change everything, man. Forehead, eyebrows, ears. Ears make a big difference, if believe it or not. Like, ears are very important. You want to get the eyes right. There's nothing wrong with going beyond the face texture. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're making a specific race. If you're making a black guy or Asian guy, it's like you can't just have it that default look. You got to go in there, change up the nose, change up the lips. The eyes are very important. Yeah. Just go in there and have fun with it, man. Don't be scared. Like, just do some random slides. I do random slides, man. I don't go in there and plan all of it out. I just be like, yep, slim it down, do this, change the jawline. I do all that, man. It's very important. And with him, it's like he's more like a pretty boy type guy. So it's like I try to like keep it in that range. And always make sure you save your progress, bro. Because you just never know with new games that be crashing a lot. This year with Darius Praise, I went with a different hairstyle. I try to change it up a little bit, but I tried to get the hair dye the same, the burgundy OG style. But as you can see, I suck with hair dye. I cannot get it right. No matter how many times I practice, I cannot get the hairstyle right when it comes to dye. So I choose not to do that. I went with the dark brown hair and kept it simple. Keep all these very simple. I mean, eye color is important too. With the eyebrows, I like how they did the eyebrows this go around, where it actually showed through the face texture when you lining it up now. But I hate how they did the beard this year. Facial hair, period. It's like you can't combine them like that no more because they two different tones now. You see how the goatee is different from the beard? So I couldn't even give him his OG look. Had to just settle for just the beard. But came out looking fire though, so I'm not complaining about it. Had to go back in, change a couple things with the face, detail it out some more. Now we're going to get into some tattooing and tattoo placement. I see a lot of y'all ask me, how do I place my tattoos? When it comes to tattoos, I am a simple guy. I'm not a big fan of the full body tattoos. Like, I don't know. I feel like the most simple look is fire to me. Like when you have a tattoo on the forearm, tattoo on the chest, like tattoo on the ribs. That's one of my favorite places to place a tattoo. Like the simpler the better, in my opinion. Doing that over tattoo, everyone does that. I ain't seen 1,000 cars where people got tattoos all over their chest, arms, back, legs. It's like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that it's wrong. It's just not my style. I might do it for like 3 cars out of 100. But mainly I keep it simple, man. And when you see one, the shoulder, I'm a perfectionist, man. 2K still haven't fixed that fading, man. It's like, I don't like comparing other games to other games, you know what I'm saying? But UFC, when it comes to tattoo placement, I believe they got the best tattoo placement because you can take a tattoo and place it anywhere on his arm, stretch it out as far as you want, and it doesn't fade. Like it doesn't do that cutoff fade. The tattoo be still full. And when it comes to coloring the tattoos, you want to get that greenish black or that bluish black because when it comes to opacity and laying on the skin, it's like you don't even have to change the opacity all the way down. I put mine down to 90. I don't go no lower than 85 maybe because the color of it is just phenomenal. Like I said, make sure you save all your progress after every major move because you don't want to go back and do all that again. Now, time for the accessories, elbow pads, wristbands, hand wraps. I kind of keep it simple. I don't really do too much with those, mainly, especially with elbow pads. I don't really do the logos on the elbow pads unless like I'm making like a luchador or something like that. I want it to, stand out a little bit more. But when it comes to like a simple striker or powerhouse, I keep it simple. Black, maybe a red. It depends on the color of their attire. But I mainly keep these simple. With this one, of course, he got to have his OG look from 2K23, hand wrap, elbow pad, wristband, armband. Now, time for his trunks. Okay, see right here, I was scrolling through trying to find his trunks that he had on 2K23, but come to find out they don't have those ones. So me, I had to adapt for what they got, which is these ones. I use these ones a lot. They basically the same ones he had on 2K23. It's just they're not the satin ones. But of course, I always got a trick, to fix that. And when it comes to logo placement, I see a lot of y'all ask me how do I do logo placement. Now it's multiple ways that I do it, but the most effective way that I do it, I'm gonna show you in a few minutes. But for now, you see, I don't really use templates. When I do use templates, it's basic, templates like the waistband. I might just use like the rectangle logo that's always on the side of a lot of my cards, but I don't really use templates, man. All my logos are placed, one by one because I feel like it gives the most cleaner look. When you use a template, it's like you can tell because I don't know, it just doesn't look right. You have that little scratchy look. With this, most effective way. Now, here's the trick of how to get the logo placement correctly. You want to find a trunks, a tight, whatever material that you're using, or whatever clothing that you're using. You want to find one that has a similar logo as the one you're using, or something on the side, something on the front that you can line it up with, because the default ones are usually lined up correctly. I can't say default. The in-game attires are usually lined up correctly when it comes to the logos. So I just match it like that. See? Boom. Side, side. Match up correctly. That's how I do it every single time. And then you just go back to the clothing that you originally using, and boom, there you go. Go back, change the color that you want. Even, right? Now time for the side logo. Now, when it comes to placing logos, you see how I tap, 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 like every step? That's because I'm counting every step that I'm tapping. So if I tap the D-pad right, I count how many times I tap it right. If I tap it up, I count how many times I tap it up. Because I want if I'm using the same logo, I want that one to match the other one. So what I do is, you see, using the same logo, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe that was over. I mean up, and then like 3 over. Line it up and just mirror it to the other side. So that way, boom, the exact same way. That's how I place my logos every single time. I use the same logo instead of wasting up logo space. If you want to like use the same logo, if it's evenly matched on both sides, and you want to like place it somewhere else on the trunks, boom, just turn it upside down and do your thing. Tap, tap, tap. How many times you count it? Boom. And you see, I lined it up with that line in the middle. You see the line in the front? I lined it up correctly with that. That's how I get it in the center. I find something and I just, line it up with it. And them trunks right there is perfect for it. Same thing with the back logo. I didn't map this one. I just scratched this one out because, you don't really have to map every single logo. But same way, find that line in the middle, boom, line it up right with it. Now, remember when I said I had a trick to change the material of the trunks? Well, here's the trick where you can change the material of the trunks and the logos at the same time where it match up. What you do, take that default square, scratch it out, map it out, change the opacity all the way down so you can see. Then what you go to, material, boom, there it go. It changed the material of the logos along with the trunk so they match up. That is a great trick right there. Since 2K took away the ability where when you place a logo on the piece of clothing that you're wearing, whatever material that was, the logo changed with it. I think the last time that happened was 2K19. They took it away after that. So yeah, this is a good trick. You want to do the same thing to the front, but this, you can do it either way. You can do the color first or whatever, the material first, because you already know what material you want to use. I use satin because satin was his OG look. So yeah, that's what I used. Save your progress. Remember. Now let's get to the boots. I was trying to figure out what boots that he had on 2K23, so I was scrambling through until I finally found them. And I can say he's probably one of my favorite boots, but only used them one time, and that was with him. And yeah, changed the color of it. Now, when it comes to material, you can do the material first because when you use that square method I was showing you, it ain't gonna take up the whole boot. So it's best that you change it now. With the logo placement of the kick pads, right? What I do is I use the same method, tap in that right stick, map it out. I see a lot of y'all don't map out y'all logos. Mapping is probably the best method to avoid that fade. And just like my same method, I just tap, 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 count how many times I tapped up, count how many times I tapped right. Let me tell you, a notebook is your best friend. Take notes because if you're anything like me, I am forgettable. I can say that I tapped it up 6 times, tapped it right 4 times. By the time I get to the right boot, I totally forgot. Then I got to go back and count how many times I tapped that one. It's too much. So take notes. And as you can see, just line it up, find the right position that, you want it in, and just, go from there. Now, I was doing a little test right here to see if 2K fixed something on the boots where you have the logos on both sides. Like you can change, the sizing on both sides. But you see, they didn't change that. It's like one part in the black, one part in the burgundy. That's so stupid. So I tried it again without hitting the right stick, out mapping it. Same way. So very time consuming doing it this way right here, but I'm a perfectionist. I don't care how long it takes, as long as it look good, because I take pride of creating. So Same way. I tap, 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 count, see where I'm put it at, boom, line it up with that. Then I do the same thing. If I'm using the same logo, boom, map it, tap, 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 map, line it up with that, so I know exactly where I'm gonna place it at. Just move it to the side, boom, there you go. Do the same thing with the right boot. Like I said, it's all about taking notes, man. When I say my notebook, I have 3 notebooks full of just car stuff. So, yep, same way. Line it up where I want it at. Looks about right. Yeah, seems about right. Do the same thing with the other side. Tap, tap, tap. Line it up. Just bring it to the black. Rotate a little bit. Boom. Now, it don't have to be 100% perfect, but get it as close as possible. Because when you get it close as possible, nobody gonna tell the difference. Now, with the boot method, with the what's called the material method, do the same way. See, this time you can actually do it on both boots because it doesn't matter, because it's going to cover up the whole boot regardless. Besides, you see on the front, the toe part, that's why I say it's best to change the material of the boot ahead of time. That way it can already be matched up. Change the opacity, that way you see the satin look. See? It's a good method, man. It's a good method. And you just want to fill in the blank spaces. Same way. Color, opacity all the way down. Boom. There you go. Time for more accessories. Lower accessories, of course, knee pads. I was scrolling through trying to find the knee pads that I use on 2K23. I couldn't find them, so I just went with these ones. I like them. Changed the material of it to satin to match the boots. Went to go do his piercings that he had on 2K23. The nose ring, the earrings. I was gonna go with them ones, but then I decided, I'll go with these ones. I like them. Try to keep his look the same. Went back, did some more detailing, put a wristband on him because he had a wristband on 2K23. But then I went back, changed the material of the elbow pads, the armband, changed the satin to keep the satin look. Try to match it up with his whole attire. Yeah. Copy and paste. Save your progress. Go back. Went to go find his OG jacket. It was hard finding it. So many jackets. But yeah. I was gonna go with that one, but they didn't have the well, you couldn't change the color of the zippers. So, went with his OG one. Boom. Yep. Go leather, change the material to leather. Boom. And yeah. Put him with his gold chain like he had on the other one. And yep, there you go. That's how I created his attire. Well, that's how I created him, period. I had to check out the lighting, but yep, that's his first attire, man. Now on to his second attire. Copy and paste to keep all the details. With his trunks, I wanted to keep the same trunks, but change the colorway of the trunks. So I got rid of all the logos that I'm not going to use. Kept all the ones that I am going to use, which is the sides and the waistband. Changed the trunks into white. Went with this logo. I created that logo, by the way, and it's pretty damn fire. I was trying to figure out the placement. I was trying to figure out, was I gonna keep the waistband on there, take it off, I was like, looks fire with the waistband, but let me just get the sizing right of how I want it. Found out the sizing, counted it, lined it up so I know where to place it at. Bada bing. Place it on the other side. Trying to figure out where I wanted to put this logo. So I didn't know if I wanted to put it in the front, which is not bad in the front. It's not bad, but it just wasn't standing out to me. So I was like, let me put it in the back. Looks better in the back. But I was like, let me raise it up a little bit more. Change it up a little bit. I created that logo, by the way, that Darius praised. Pretty fire. Decided to go with the white, gold, and red. And yep, just change move the logos in front of the square so that way the material of the logos are satin. So always remember, when you want to change that, just move it up front. That's all. And I was trying to figure out which logo can I put in the front, but it's like I know something missing in the front, but I was like, you know what, let me just finish up on the boots. So I created those kick pads, change it to white. I was like, yeah, keep that. That's fire. But like I said, didn't know what I wanted to put in the front. Should I keep it blank? I was like, nah, you know what? I went back to Photoshop, created a lace. And I was like, that's what he's going to have. Boom. Put the lace right there. Put the rhinestones around the edges, as you can see. Move it. See? Move it all the way up front. Boom. That way. It's satin. And yep. That's how I decided to create his second attire. That one was fast, man. I was like, I already knew how I wanted it. I envisioned it in my head. I created a logo ahead of time. It was like, yeah. Boom. Keep the same jacket. So import the parts from the first attire. That way I ain't got to go looking for it. And yeah. There you go, man. That's Darius praise right there. That second attire is probably my favorite, of course, because it just looks fire, man. I want to thank y'all for watching this video. I hope that a lot of these tips help. Y'all want to see more of these type videos? Let me know in the comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Until the next video, deuces.